Hello, dear friends, lovely audiences. Welcome to the East West Show. Jack Chow on the East West with the GNE TV. Today we're talking about something not politics. We're talking about film. However, in talking about films, we really want to go deeper into the second layer, or the third, or the fourth layer, to see more inside. With me in the talk is my good friend, Mr. Winston Lee. Winston Lee is a filmmaker for all his life. During the early years in China, he was very famous, and he could be recognized on the street. Now you can't recognize on the street at a free lunch or what is etc. something like that. And in the United States for so many years, he has been involved in educational films, and also he himself is very active in between filmmakers of the United States and China, such as matchmaking, such as bringing people to visits, so on and so forth, all film related. I call him a film man, right? Filmmaker, film man. So, sir, welcome to the show. Recently, there are two films that caught my eye. One is Sicario, the other is Purge. All right. So, have you seen all these two films?
Yes, recently I watched both of them.
How do you feel about them?
Two films are different, but it's really made me think about it a lot. Yeah, for something, like for the boards, they're kind of real war, like I said, to use the arm, it's like a very high technology.
Yeah.
Whatever they kill
all
people.
Those modern weapons and devices, including satellite technology, is all used. Yeah.
Another one is the races, there's, I don't know how long, I said that long way to go, never have finished. You want to, so you can see the 3K, Ku Klux Klan, so there's 3Ks there too. That you don't believe it, how many years already? Still you can see those things. Of course, the inside have some, only one guy, Asian, I think it's from Filipino, Philippine, or Vietnamese, whatever. The rest, most is black people.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. These two films are, of course, they belong to different categories. We put them together for the fact that we believe there is something behind, and even behind, something might be giving you the same foreground or same background. All right, so let's talk about Sicario first. Right? For the Sicario, it is based on the border conflicts, right? Okay, I myself never thought a border issue could be that serious. Have you?
Never thought of that. It's really just like a war. You cross border, you kill people. You cannot do that. That's if we, what can I say? That's illegal. International law. You cannot do that. But they trying to use a different way. Maybe they fight to each other.
The gangs make the gangs find a war among themselves.
Yes. But if they really find out, you are in deep trouble. I think they will find out too. Maybe the future they're together, fighting with you.
In reality, we sometimes take the border issue as a single issue, right? To Mr. President Trump, all he needs to do is draw a line on the map, say, I need a wall here. That's it, right? To people, average people like you and me, we talk about, do we or do we not need the wall, right? We argue over that layer of the problem also, and on and on and on, forever on that level. Yet, a lot of people claim that that film depicts the border situation so vividly, say that it is almost true, right? So if that is the case, if that is true, we never thought about the border issue should be that bloody.
Yes.
Yeah. I use the word bloody. Right?
Yeah, very bloody. It's bloody, you know. And that's if they find out that they cause more problems. I think more problems for the and the illegal. They got into the United States for years, never stopped. Whatever you use it, anyway, the Latinos, Mexicans, they still cross the border, come over, even babies, children, whatever.
All right. But the thing is that it is illegal to go across the border, right? To go across the border without a proper paper, right? And yet, on the other side of the story, though, go across the line to kill on the Mexican soil is even more illegal. It is a crime. Do you think so?
Crime, I think so.
Right.
Definitely. You do not have a right to doing that. You cross border. This has caused a war. They can even start a war.
Do you think that's something called that you tackle a war in the name of war, in the method of war, is a killing versus a killing situation?
Yes.
Right. So
they thought they hide that, they can, disappear or cover everything, but it's impossible. Impossible. Yeah.
Well, it is impossible, to my understanding. In history, the land belonged to them. Right?
Yes, true. California is belong to
California belonged to them.
Yeah.
Right? It is their land.
Yeah.
Only because due to one war, only because the surrender, right? So we won the place, we won the land, but winning the land doesn't change history.
True.
To them, their forefathers, their grandfathers, are still here or buried here. So they go back and forth. They say, "Here's my land." So
yes, I agree.
Doesn't make too much difference. Right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, to suppress it, right? To put a firmer hand on it, though, I agree. I do believe that we should have a border control, conceal the border, right? Very closely watch the border. But I never thought we could gone over the board to get involved in the bloody killing of gangsters themselves.
True, and we never know that. We never know that. That's really like a real things happened. Maybe happened not once. You don't know, but it's always happened. I think it's very dangerous. This has become the two countries. And you mentioned about Latinos, Mexican, the brothers, they come here year by years, their roots here, cannot, even you look at it here, it's interesting. I look at it, cowboys,
Right.
Mexicans, the people, the style, the cowboys, like our cowboys, I remember inside they used to buckle, the broken their tapes.
Cowboy,
Something like that. There's really, you look at them, the Mexicans, you look at them, they kind of related. You cannot cut off. And here, we have how many farmers, the work here.
The culture is
that's
there.
Agriculture things is really belong to those people. They come here, cross border. Somebody legally come here, work, return, So right now, our president changed even the laws, the rules. That's.
I would say one thing. The fact that lots of people say that is very true, that describes everything exactly what's happening over there, though. If that is the case, we probably would call the Congress to pay attention to that, because there are killings over there, right?
You're right.
There are killings over there.
Yeah, Even this is a really truth. We got a lot of evidence. Even you go to Congress, got to to have to listen to these things. Very important. How can we stop this?
From a film perspective, how do you judge the film? Was it very well done? Was it average?
I think it's very well done. They make it very powerful. Even for filmmakers, can make those kind of made people shocked.
Okay.
Everything use everything and it's very quick done. You don't need to think like a very slow, just dang 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 dang. Bah, you make it. You made you thinking.
All right.
It's really, really something powerful. I just look at it, my goodness. Yeah.
And the graphic is so horrible.
Yeah.
The guy shot in the head here. Luckily he wasn't
my
killed.
My wife didn't want to see. Oh my God! Didn't want to see it.
Yeah. All right.
It's just
too bloody. Too bloody. And thinking about the little girl, has been through several killings, and her life is ruined.
Yeah. I think about it's really we are hurting her real later life. The brain got something damaged. How can you deal with those kind of things?
Call it a PTSD.
Yeah. How can you deal with those things?
I remember there was one scene. The guy behind him want to get hold of her, and guy like a sniper kind shot him, and the blood boom busted, the head busted. She has more blood on her face than the dead guy.
You're right.
Right?
Yes.
And that's terrible thing.
One thing is even for a lot of foreign country, we have war. We send our troops over there. When they are returned, our veterans, how many really got mental problems? Because the war, because the killing, because bleeding.
The guy himself, the main character himself, is kind of suffering from PTSD too.
Yes.
Right. He is almost a crazy guy. He can't control himself.
I agree.
Remember the scene that they are on trucks, on the pickup trucks.
Yes.
It says, "Stand up, stand up," right?
Yes.
Right. When they stood up, better to kill, something like that. So, question is, if that is true, well, probably somebody has to be charged.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, I agree. Totally.
Well, shall at least be marshaled.
Yes.
Right. So we're talking about a film, my dear friend. With me is my good friend, Mr. Winston Tsai Yang Lee. Mr. Lee is a filmmaker himself, and he is an educator of film. He is running lots of beautiful film programs. On top, he is matchmaking in between China and the United States for filmmakers to come together. And every year at the Chinese American Film Festival, you see him going around with people. And I believe that as a former actor, so famous in China, he is still doing business only in a better way of films. So we're talking about a film which is just recently hit the screen called Sicario. Sicario was so bloody, and behind the bloody scene, I started to feel shocked because I never thought things could go that way. I recommend lots of people go take a look. If it's a fake, okay, only fake. If it tells you the true story, so think about it. We got to do something because we can't let things be going on that way, which is too bloody, too way beyond bloody, horrible, right? So let's take a short moment out. We come back to pick up another film, which is more profound to talk about. My dear friends, will be right back. Action. Hello, dear friends, lovely audiences. Welcome back to the show, Jack Chow on the East West Show with GNE TV. Today with me is my good friend, Mr. Winston Zhayang Lee. He is a filmmaker, and he is active these days, still these days, in bringing people together, filmmakers in the industry. And he, on the rest of his time, he spent his hours teaching. Okay, back to the subject today. We're talking about another film, Purge, P-U-R-G-E, right? I believe you saw that film, right?
Yes, I watched it too. Also.
How did you feel about that film?
It's very sad, for years, still right now the races, still it's very, I feel very deep hurting, it's nothing wrong with those people. So later they are become enemies.
Deadly enemies.
Yeah.
Deadly enemies,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Yes.
So, well, of course, the word that explains it. To purge is to eliminate, is to wipe out, right? Only in a planned way, in a dedicated way, something like that. In the film, I see some background, even though that is a fiction, right? Right. I saw some solid background. Do you recall in the very beginning, you see the signs of 99?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That's the 99% movement, right? You see the tents, right?
Yes. Yeah.
That's the Occupy movement, right? So for a director or screenwriter to use that those scenes to describe a background, we would say the fiction, later on fiction, could not be too far from it. Do you see what I mean?
Yes, yes.
Right?
Yes.
If you fiction about 100 years later, right, you don't want to use the incident of yesterday. Otherwise, you confuse your audiences, right? Okay. Fact is that the 99 movement and the Occupy movement were always there, all there. So that gives you an indication of the fiction not far away from us. Do you agree with me?
Yes, I agree. Yes. So I am a Chinese, it's like Asian. So I can feel that too. See, I'm not dark enough, and I'm not white enough. I'm in between.
You're in between.
Right?
Okay.
Sometimes heard from both sides too. Black people don't think you are not belong to their group. White people don't think about you belong to them. You are between. So even more bad. But sometimes things happen, year by year, for Chinese, lately passed a law or whatever things Chinese, But right now, they're very strongly, showing this movie. They don't hide anything. They just really, I said openly. Said,
openly.
You guys is all, enemies.
Yeah.
So later make the drug dealer people with the good people, normal good people, grandparents, grandchildren.
And also, I would point out that the beautiful part, the more speakable part is that if you want to talk about the word elimination, right, or wipeout, you may sound like a Hitler, right?
Yes.
But yet in this film, though, it is made into a beautiful plan called the Purge, right? And then it is even accepted by at the federal level, right? It is openly and under broad daylight, blatantly, and it's not discriminating. It is genocide of a certain race, right? That's the bloody part, and that's the most meaningful part. Do you think so?
Yes, I agree. So right now, for the year by years, after 100 years like this, I said for weapons, the weapons more powerful. They'll kill people more, but both sides. You can see
They all
drug
have
dealer. They
yeah.
have the weapons. My goodness, they have.
all have
they
the
all
most
have-
advanced weapons.
Yes.
Yes.
If they want to fight with you, who's winner? You don't know. Even now, I mean, how many troops, we soldiers sent to the foreign country? How many black soldiers? For colored soldiers.
Yeah.
When they are returned, they doing the things I told you more powerful too. Whatever they can do what they wanted.
But the thing in the film is that in the very beginning, they realize they were trapped.
Yeah.
They just kept on fighting each other, right? Until much, much later in the story, right? They found out, oh my God, we're trapped,
Yes.
right? It is the white that are our enemy. So this film has confirmed one thing, what the white supremacists believe, that they believe they are superior. Matter of fact, they are not. We're equally important, we're equally human. So these two concepts are actually fighting there, right? In the film, it also gives some scene of the Ku Klux Klan,
Yeah.
right? So even the Ku Klux Klan can be there, can take part in. You really know things are going on wrong.
So even Nazi.
Even Nazi.
Yeah.
Even Nazi.
Yeah.
Have you noticed one thing that in the film, those helm wearing a mask or a helm
mask.
guy,
Yeah.
they are all white guys,
All right, guys.
right?
So this is very sad, but it's dangerous. Long time ago, I knew that's a long way to go. Like California, it's better than some state, but still it's a long way to go. Long way to go. You don't feel safe. But funny things is, you go into the different state. The white people don't feel comfortable. They do not feel safe.
It is a problem too.
Oh, yeah.
It is a problem too.
My parents, they're white. They went to Alabama or someplace. They feel very unsafe, and they walked through there. Everywhere is black.
Alabama, Oklahoma, those places,
Yeah, Oklahoma,
right?
yeah.
Or even Chicago.
Yes,
Chicago,
yes,
yes.
definitely. I walk on the street, they're hurting me. They don't feel anything wrong, and I don't want to fight with them,
But for a long time, my guests coming on the show though, lots of them point out there is a hate there, right? The hate crime, even in Los Angeles, as a county, was reported about 3 days ago. Hate crime is on the rise.
Yes.
Right? Now, on the surface, what we see, the division of people are getting wider and wider. The gaps getting wider and wider. The conflicts between races or amongst races are getting worse. Right? This gives a birthbed to hate crime. Hate crime. In the film, you're talking about using the crime to let them kill each other,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Using the crime to let them kill each other.
Yes.
So only at the moment when they realize that they are trapped in, did the government get involved to suppress them. But it was too late. It was too late. So they knew what's going on. They fought for their own life. So that is a significance of the film. This film, after that film, I went into deep thought about it, and I feel that it is some kind of a signal, right? Let me check with you. How come in the recent years we have all these kinds of films, and one after another, right? Terminator, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatsoever, right? Star Wars, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatsoever, right? and we have Spider-Man, we have Superman, and we have even Avatar, right? And all this kind of story that based upon their synopsis on the conflicts between races. Have you ever given thought to that?
My thought is just simple. I knew this is a long way to go. They're always like that, always. Sometimes you worry, sometimes you do not worry. But you cannot invisible, but it's still there. Sometimes it pop up. For example, I was shopping someplace. A Latino, a Mexican lady, speak Spanish, want to buy something or whatever. An old lady, a white. You don't speak English? Why you are here?
Oh, that's insulting.
Go home, back to your home.
Yeah, that's insulting.
You're out of here. You guys, right? See?
And the matter of fact,
this is just little simple things, but a lot of things. Even, a policeman killed some black people, or whatever. For one side, for example, like we think, oh, they are not a racist. They are always equal, like something. You have to raise yourself, make yourself more quality, make some people, recognize you or respect you, because not your color, because you are really bad. So people look at you like this, down, just
look down upon you.
Yeah. Because why? Because you are not good enough. If you're good, you are very good. You are something. People sometimes think about this.
Okay, my friend. Today we're talking about film. Even though we're talking about films, as a matter of fact, we want to talk a little deeper than the film themselves, because the film gave us a signal what we want to think about. With me, my good friend Winston Lee, we're talking about the film Purge. We'll be right back after this short moment. Hello, dear friends, lovely audience, welcome back to the show, Jack Chow on the East West Show with the G&E TV. It is recently one film caught my eyes, and I decided to host this show with my friend Winston Lee. I called him, say, hey, you want to go watch this film, so that I want to discuss with you. So there he is. After seeing the film, Mr. Winston Lee feel the same way that I feel. Together, we want to make a point. I take the film as a message, right? Message being delivered on a very high elevation that something wrong is going to happen. Do you think so?
Yes. So we don't, means this film is good is because they don't hide things. They want to 100% open to the world. See, this is American. This is real American right now, or future. Believe that, because you don't take care of anything, future will be very dangerous. Kill each other.
And another way to look at these films, including Purge, and we may even go back several years to talk about the other films, say Star Wars, for example, say even Avatar, for example, right? So all the conflicts are over one thing, for space and the resources, right? At a certain time, at a certain point, when certain race are or is running out of space, out of resources, they create something. They want to occupy the resources, occupy the space, and you do not agree, and you want the space and the resources too, so there is a fight. The fight comes in a genocide way. So that is what happened in Purge, right? So Group A want to eliminate Group B. Group B will not. So A and B are fighting a blood war, and yet they realize all of a sudden this was created by the government, right? And then together they fight against the government. So that is the government moment the government gets involved. It sounds like a fiction, looks like a fiction. It is a fiction. However, it has meaning in it to me. Do you think so?
You're right. I think for those things that means want the government pay attention, definitely pay big attention, and have to give you both sides, the education. Definitely, it's not just right now say okay, right now change something. Before said okay, going to university, or education, even for the colored, they have to equally get to the or lower score, let them in, whatever, trying to helping them. But the truth is, maybe not justice. How can you from bottom, started, educated for kid, for small kid, kindergarten started. Like here, for example, our kids should know that when we grow up, we know policemen are our friend. Always trying to do this, don't hate policemen. Policemen is always helping us.
They no longer are.
Yeah, so they should be from little. As I know, there's California. Why is California pretty good for races or for the Latinos are better? Because I have a very good friend, old friend, who is an educator. Elementary school's principal, a teacher, or later a principal. They have a lot of Latino kids. She can speak some Spanish. From her eye, she never think of different, the black and the Latinos or Chinese.
They're all kids.
Sam. And training them are very good. And even for somebody, didn't know that, just say some little things, they were very sensitive. Said, no, you cannot do this. You can't, it's not right. So later changed it even called the Latino. I haven't got used to it right now. I'm not saying Mexicans, no. Very polite to say Latinos.
Back in the old days when you were when you were with K school,
yes,
right?
Yes.
In your class that I went to one time, that is exactly a mixture of everything.
Yeah.
Mixture of everybody.
Yes.
Right? White, black, Chinese, Asian,
yes.
of various places.
Yes.
All together. So in your eye, and as an educator, they are nothing but kids.
But still, kids are sometimes okay. People work there. I'm the very first colored employee, teacher. Later got some black people. Later 1, 2, 3, even the administrators, they hire somebody there, work there, for the
administrative level.
Have the black, something. But real from their heart, I don't know. I use example.
I see what you mean.
I use example is, I can tell. Maybe only a one black teacher, he feel he's still with white people, no problem. The rest, I think there are still sometimes black, maybe black together talking. Colored people can talk more, or like a kitchen crew and the building and the ground people, they're all black, all is Mexicans. Most speak Spanish. Those people, some teacher, they are work there years, maybe 20 years, 25 years. You went to a kitchen, they don't know their name even. That's a very sad.
Shame, yes.
I everybody know my name. Mr. Lee or something. I'm very close with them. I'm talking to them. For example, a Christmas party or something, they brought their wife come over, and they will sit there a group. I always join them. Equally join them. You talk to them, something, their wife, give you a hug, something. You cannot see any different colors, people point to,
color, and of course, you And people, deep in their mind, they categorize people,
Yeah.
right? They categorize certain group of people, right? That is a huge problem. As a government, as our time calls for it, I would like to share with my audience what I see in the film, right? So when certain, okay, now, on a day-to-day life, in a normal situation where there's nothing big, no disaster, no bigger conflict, people keep it in their mind. But deep at the bottom, they still discriminate each other, right? Let alone the hate is still there, right? However, when there's some problem arise, for example, if there is a food shortage, if there is a water shortage, if there is a war, if there is a national disaster of something, right? If there is an earthquake or something, so over land, over resources, there's going to be a fight using this racial ground. Do you think so?
Definitely, they will. Just like
absolutely, right?
absolutely. You know, you look at some history about Germany.
Yes.
They grow up together. They're not, the kid who is a Jewish. They're together. They grow up, but nice people, still nice people.
Yeah.
They're trying to, hiding them, helping them, even food, save their life, whatever, do everything they can. But most, they changed. Before their buddies, forget it. This time I am somebody, I choose somebody. I'm a pure white, I tell you.
Right.
Yeah.
So it is quite a message that I sensed about when I was watching Purge, and I would like to call upon my audiences, ask my audiences to go see the film. I'm not advertising for it. I'm not promoting it. I just want my audience to feel the same message that I feel. So, if you look into history, though, you will find out even though we were created by God equally into human being, at a certain time when there is certain problem, namely problems over land, which is space, over resources, namely food, water, whatsoever, there's always conflicts. And how they conflict? They fight each other in between races or among races, right? They use the racial ground as a ground to create their war. I'll give you an example. Genghis Khan, right, of the Mongolian Empire, right? They claim themselves to be the grassland of people, right? So they call grassland home, right? As a baby, the horseback is their cradle.
You're right.
Right? Okay, now, at a certain time, when the grassland did not provide them or no longer able to provide them enough food, so they expand, and then further expand, and then further expand, right?
They want to be alive,
yeah,
whatever.
Right? By the year, on my history book, by the year of 1206, which is the year the Mongolia Empire was established, right? The grassland is no longer grassland. They totally abandoned the grassland. They totally abandoned the way they call themselves a nationality or whatsoever, a people, bunch of people grew up on grassland, right? They invaded everywhere, European and Asia. At one time, all the land to the west of the what they call the line, the day change line, right? All belong to them, right? Including Russia all the way to North Europe, and to down South Europe. So they invaded and occupied all the European and Asian land. Well,
yes.
I believe that we all know about that history,
Yes.
right?
Even right now, the technology, more, DNA. You can check the DNA.
Oh, yeah,
how many baby, how many grandchildren belong to this guy.
Yeah, sure.
True. They
right.
did.
Sure. My dear friends, my lovely audiences, in talking about films, we pick up history because history is like a mirror. We do need to look into our mirror on a day-to-day basis to find out who we are. Problem is that we do forget to do that. So now we're looking into mirror with the message given, with the message delivered by the film Purge. I call my friends to look into the mirror to find out who we are, to find out what had happened in history, to look forward to see, hey, yeah, can we prevent it? Right. So with me is my good friend Winston Lee. We're talking about the subject called the Purge and Sakharov Purge, Hollywood culture versus the human race, right? So stay with us. We'll be right back, please. Hello, dear friends, lovely audience. Welcome back to the show, Jack Chow on the East West Show, talking about film, namely Purge, which delivered the message that scares everybody, scares the hell out of everybody, including me. I myself thought about the necessity of talking about it. That's why I called my friend Winston Lee, say, hey, my friend, go check the film Purge and come back for a show. There he is with the film he watched and I watched. We're sharing our views about it, right? So back to Genghis Khan. So at the time when they invaded, during the 162 years when the emperor, the imperialist existed, right? They killed in the European and South Asian land all over, altogether 200 million people. Can you believe it?
Yes. I don't believe it, but it's true.
Yeah. It is written on Guinness record.
Yes.
On Guinness record of 1985, that edition, 1985 edition, they killed with 162 years when they were in power, the Mongolian Empire in power, they killed 200 million people. In China only, they killed 10 million people, right? And due to the, checking about the Song Dynasty, Qin Dynasty.
Qin Dynasty.
The China total population was 93.26 million, right? By the time they finished, the Genghis Khan finished, China had 8 million left. In other words, 91% of the Chinese population during the 162 years were slaughtered. Right?
Yeah.
And the Sichuan only. Sichuan became a vacant land, right?
Yes.
And the Song Dynasty had to immigrate people to Sichuan because it was all slaughtered.
You're right. A couple of states, it means province people move out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gansu, Ningxia, Tianshui, those areas called Xixia.
Xixia.
Mm-hmm. He invaded Xixia, took Xixia, killed everybody, from the emperor to baby. Everybody.
Right.
Over what? Over land, over resources. Because they are hungry, they need more. Right? Human has a history of fighting that kind of a war. Human has a history of slaughtering that much whenever it comes to food. Right?
Yes.
If you're thinking that European and Asia was unlucky, right? You're wrong. Our land, the American continental, was not lucky too. Was not lucky either, right? When the Europeans came, they keep moving. They drive the Indians to the east. Along the driving, there's another film. Oh, I should have checked with you. Hostility or something? Hostile. Talking about exactly a story of that period of time when Americans pushing the Indians to go west, right? For 200 years, the American history was written on horseback, on wagons. Moving is in the blood of Americans because they are driven. They have been driven from the east to west all the way. Slaughtered, right? Slaughtered. So it is not Genghis Khan, not only Genghis Khan, but the Europeans did the same thing, right? So it is a message that we can't forget. Do you think so?
Yes, I have to keep the peace. Number one is like this. Right now is, I don't know that for sure, who really want to own the whole world. Go everywhere trying to get it. So it will happen. I mean, slaughtered, to kill the people. Right now, also from the races killed people. Everywhere, even that's from our history too. From here, India, they killed Indians. That's from Europe. So people here from the United States, I feel that the more recognized about European, highly think about even style, anything, fashion, everything's from Europe. European things, because their original come from Europe. So even you driving your car, on a street or
buy
something.
lady purse, they buy European.
Yeah, but I mean the policeman would be not stop the Russian guy, the white guy, from Ukraine or Russia or whatever. So you're illegal, your immigration, something we have put in the jail. They don't check it. They only look at somebody's maybe Asia or Mexicans.
By facial recognition.
Yeah, Mexicans. They will stop, check. Or they look at it, go, no problem.
There's another way of discriminating people.
But the future.
I'm talking about the fact that every now and then in human history, when there's a problem over food and the land, there comes a racial genocide. I call it genocide because the way we don't think that what happened in Genghis Khan was just in Asia and Europe. In this land too, we used to get killed or killed, right?
Yeah.
So
the first time, you don't think about when people are doing something. They do not think about they only want food and water or whatever for their life. If they shortage everything, they have to kill you.
Given the fact that you have unlimited food,
yeah,
unlimited water.
So after that, it means later,
yes,
somebody in control, they have to. I said when you kill people, get a red eye. You don't know who you did. It's just that I want to. Doesn't matter. Even the dead body, they eat it.
Exactly.
Right.
There's that. And there's another film. I wonder if you saw it or not. Chinatown. It's a very, very old film of the early 50s or something. Chinatown, talking about downtown Los Angeles, the water line, the big pipe, the water line being controlled of a certain group, right? In fighting of the power over the water, though, lots of people die, people killed. So So it's never a new word of killing. Killing. Killing is not a new word. Killing is a tradition of a human being. We used to, and we will, we shall. All right. Now, you mentioned about the Nazis, right? During the Nazi time, the Nazi Germans killed 6 million Jews, right? If put another 5 million of non-Jews, you're talking about 11 million totally killed during the year of 1945, 44, 43, to all the way 45, 45, right? So, and they kill at a rate of 1,200 lives per day. Over what? Over land, over food, resources. So now, human race, as we go along, our resources will run out. Will run shorter and shorter and shorter. Are we going into, once again, into that kind of a slaughtering? That is the message I believe the film has delivered. Do you agree with me?
Yeah, this kind. Right now, I think I agree with you. Some point, But right now, people more worry about something too. You already raised these kind of questions about Muslim. They think that's will be future will be big problems. They grow up so fast, going to everywhere, do something. So they want to keep something.
I don't think that's a problem. That's a norm. That's a norm. Let they go perish themselves, right? If you can't perish, it's your own problem. I don't think that's a problem. The problem is that we're not talking about, okay, religion is only a thing you think after you eat meals, after your stomach is full. While you are hungry, you never think about religion. You think of food, you think of survival, right?
Yeah,
so
right.
Now we're talking about at a moment when human race is pushed to a point that due to the lack of resources, due to lack of food, you are hungry, you're starving, people will get eating each other. They will fight each other because why? Because in history, it happened.
Yeah.
Not only once, not only twice, not only three times. Okay, 1994 in Rwanda,
Yes.
right? Another slaughter, another killing of the two races over land and resources. They killed 1 million people only in 1994.
That's the true things you said. Is I agree with you, but it's just true things like this. When first they are both as a human, they become an animal. They're not a human anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We go back to our
you
animal
use the
day.
history, you reflect the real life.
Yeah,
truly
sure,
things.
sure.
And the future later will be it will be happen. Shortage.
Sure.
Definitely.
Over evolution, we become human, right?
Yes.
However, our root is animal.
Yes.
So someday over the shortage of food, water resources, including water, will be pushed back to our animal side.
Yeah,
Right?
animal.
And by animal, we mean that we will be slaughtering each other, killing each other. So that is the message that these films deliver. My dear friend, today in talking about film, maybe I'm just much ado about nothing, right? Maybe I'm just making something anyway.
You are very sensitive. You have a good.
Thank you
I
very
said
much.
your
Thank you very much. Yeah.
news eye.
All right.
You
Thank
you
very
catch
much.
up the things.
I got a vision.
Yeah. You got a
I got
vision. That's
now.
a very.
I want my audience to go see the films, check out if I'm right. My dear friend, the credit goes to my friend Winston Ziyang Lee, a filmmaker. And in the early days, he was very famous in China as an actor. You look at the handsome face, you can tell he has some handsome young days. Later, he became a filmmaker, producer, educator of film, all the way till now. We're sharing our views about the films over, films versus reality. How about that? Films versus reality, reality/future. We're talking about that. So, my dear friends, we'll be talking about it another time. So, thank you for watching.